Have you started looking for Gretchen's replacement yet? Imagine my surprise at hearing those words spoken by a client of mine to my boss at a cocktail party with me standing right there. Do you think he said this to him, because I wasn't doing a good job? No. Do you think he said it to him because he had heard that I was going to the competition? No. He said it because I was pregnant. So 20 years ago, living a very happy life, exciting job, I'm working as a management consultant, I'm really enthused and passionate about my work, and I find out that I'm pregnant with my first child. I was really nervous about telling my boss. You see, in our firm, we had about 70 consultants, and 2 of us were women. I consult in the construction industry. So I didn't have a lot of role models to look to for how I was going to make this all work. I was traveling about 4 days a week at the time. But I finally got up enough nerve to tell my boss that I was pregnant, and he was very supportive. He said, "We are going to make this work." So I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm going to figure this out. And then people started saying things to me that made me question my choice. They eroded my self-confidence. So I told my boss about it, and he said, "You're imagining things, you're reading too much into what people are saying to you." And I thought, well, maybe I am, I don't know. Until that night at that cocktail party. Have you started looking for Gretchen's replacement yet? So my boss turned to me like, is there something I should know? And I looked at him thinking, oh, I bet this is going to get better. And it did. The next words out of my client's mouth, well, you know that the yearnings that were put in you to be a mother will overpower these feelings that you have that you should have a career. And basically, he started telling me that I would figure out where I belonged. I would come to my senses. And I got really angry. I had this pit. I have a pit in my stomach just now thinking about this story. And frustrated, I was scared enough to think about becoming a mom for the first time. I'd never even put a diaper on a baby, and trying to figure out how to do all of this. Who was he to say this to me and make me feel this way? This is a huge problem in our country. 70% of the women with children under the age of 18 participate in the workforce. And in a recent survey, 1/3 of our country feels that women with children should not work. That is a disconnect. This is not an issue that has gone away in the last 20 years either. Since I published my book, The 8 Steps to Being a Great Working Mom, I've had hundreds of women tell me these stories. I sat next to a woman on a plane the other day. She's a single mom. She has a 10 and a 15-year-old. Every day she picks her kids up from school and brings them to her office. They have desks at her office so that she can help them with their homework. And one of the school officials said to her, you know, your son would be doing better in school if you didn't work so much. Or the woman that came up to me at a book signing, pregnant with her 3rd child, and one of her office mates said to her, you know, you've been barely hanging on with 2. You can just kiss your career goodbye with number 3. That was like 3 months ago. We have the power to change this conversation. We have the power to change this conversation. Instead of saying, is your husband going to let you keep working? This was one of my husband's favorites. I did not find it amusing whatsoever. What if we change the conversation and say, what a great role model that you will be for your kids? What if instead of saying, do you think you'll be able to keep working after the baby? What if we change the conversation and we say, you'll make the choice that's right for you and you will make it work? Thank you. What if instead of saying, how did your kids turn out? Like my kids were raised in a science experiment. What if instead we said, I bet you have wonderful kids who appreciate all the things that you do for them? What if instead of saying it must be a challenge to work and take care of your family, instead we say, I admire how hard you work to juggle family and career. It is a juggling act, and it is hard. What if instead of saying, who watches your kids when you're gone? Okay, I have to digress because I heard this one every week for about 10 years. And it got really, really old. So I chose humor to deflect these comments. So I started saying, you know what? I just put them in the trunk of my car with a little food and water, and so far it seems to be working out just fine. You know? I don't know. We have the power to change the conversation. We have the power to be supportive of working moms. I want to talk to the working moms for just a minute, because not only do we need to change the conversation around us, we need to change the conversation in our heads. We need to let go of unrealistic expectations that cause stress and guilt. Somehow, we have decided that on any given day, we need to be Warren Buffett and Heidi Klum and Martha Stewart all wrapped up into one. It's not realistic. It causes a lot of stress in our lives. So I want every working mom to think about an expectation that you need to let go of. If you have a piece of paper, I want you to write down that expectation. All school snacks must be homemade. Right? We write it down, we wad it up in a ball, and we throw it away. I can take on 10 extra projects at work, no problem. Unrealistic expectation. Wad it up, throw it away. You get my drift. We need to be easier on ourselves. We work very hard at what we do. We really do have the power to change the conversation. What if that client had turned to me and said, you are going to make a great mom? What a difference that would have made. I want to thank my kids for giving me the greatest gift, motherhood. This is what a working mom looks like. Thank you.